Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me here back on my desk. As you guys can see, I'm back with another video. This time is Mortal Kombat, Storm Collectibles, Liu Kang. I've been waiting for this one for a while, and I've actually been waiting because I wanted to see what this the dragon actually looked like. The figure itself, obviously, I'm a fan of Liu Kang. I'm a fan of Mortal Kombat, but I don't quite have a dragon. Um, Anything in my collections. I was very interested to see how this one would turn out. Nonetheless, at least in the packaging, it looks pretty cool. It's a pretty big box. I want to say it's probably about 11 inches this way and about good maybe 15 lengthwise. It's bigger than I expected, but you guys can see there Liu Kang with the dragon in all the glory inside the packaging. Mortal Kombat here, and then as we turn around to the back here, there is actually Liu Kang. Figure looks awesome. And I'm assuming this looks like at least it may be based on Mortal Kombat 3, judging by the background they use, which I believe is a background for Mortal Kombat 3. Me specifically, my favorite Liu Kang was in Mortal Kombat 2. I think he had a very similar look, but nonetheless, there he is, and they give you a bit of a background on the character, Storm Collectibles. I got mine via Big Bat Toy Store. I had mine actually a couple of weeks ago sitting in my pile of loot and finally decided to hit ship. So here I am. And again, there's Liu Kang with his fatality, right? At least that's how I remember this being a fatality in Mortal Kombat 2. And then some fire effects. So without further ado, I'm going to open this guy up and let's see, take him through his paces. Okay, guys, so I got Liu Kang here and the dragon out of the box, but I just want to show you guys in the box itself, you do get this cool little background with the Mortal Kombat logo. Um, so that's really nice if you can use to display, with the figure or your other Mortal Kombat figures. So, for example, here's Liu Kang standing in there, so it looks pretty cool. That's something you could use. I wish they would have included an actual background from one of the games. I know, for example, in some of the King of Fighters Storm collectibles and the Street Fighter ones, they tend to include a actual background from the game. In this case, you kind of just get the logo. So that's just something that they include in there that I want to point out. So we'll move that out of the way. Now, what do you get in the box? You get quite a bit of things, right? So let's start off with the hands. You get a whole bunch of these, which are pretty much standard, I think, for Storm collectibles. They always include a whole bunch of different hands, so you could pose, your figure whichever way you want them. So in this case, we get five sets of hands. So that's two, and they're all in different positions. These are kind of palm. These ones are kind of, I guess, loose in some kind of position. These are kind of reaching out. Um, and these, I guess, fighting, kind of swag hands, as I like to call them. So you get plenty of hands. As you could see, there are five pairs, extra pairs, in addition to the ones that he comes with, which are the fists. You also get two additional heads. So the first one is the one where he is kind of yelling or screaming. I will say the sculpt for this one is a lot better than the Kung Lao one. Kung Lao, I don't know what they did to that one. It looked a little weird. But this one doesn't look too bad. I guess some nice detailing there on the eyes, the mouth. The yelling expression looks appropriate. And yeah, and then the bandana here, soft rubber. And this is a little bit of hard plastic in his mullet, I guess. And the hair, I think, is well done. But there's the one head. And then you also get this other hand with his breathing out, or his Bruce Lee expression, I guess. Um, right, with his lips kind of puckered out a bit. And again, I think that's well done. Their hair, bandana, similarly soft rubber, and a little bit of the hard hair. And these heads, you can just pull out and sort of, pull out of the figure here and replace them. The third head is the one here, which is pretty much a neutral kind of calm expression here on his face. I think I may probably end up going with maybe this one or this one. I think this one's probably a bit just too neutral for Liu Kang. What else? Oh, so you do get this awesome fire effect here. This is obviously his fireball move that he has. It's soft plastic towards the tip here, a little bit harder in the middle, and then you've got the dragon kind of with the teeth coming at you, shooting his fireballs. It's gonna clear, and you do have a I don't know if you could see it, but right here where my thumb is, there's a section for tab to go in because you do get a little sort of action stand, but it's not for the figure. In the box, you do get a stand for the fire effect, right? You can sort of make it like the fireballs kind of flying by, but it comes in a couple of pieces. So you can make this pole as high or as small as you need it. And there are different sections here that you can put this in. The fireball itself, as I said, you can plug it into the stand. So if you wanted to, you can pose Liu Kang kind of throwing a fireball, and a clear stand will help give you that effect that it's kind of flying in place. The next thing, it's actually let me do the figure itself. Now, this is a cool looking little figure. For me, Liu Kang has always been a bit vanilla. I know towards the latter games they spiced him up and made him Fire God Liu Kang. Don't get me wrong, I like the character of Liu Kang, but he was always very like black pants, and that was pretty much it. And I know once we got into Mortal Kombat and so on, they tried spicing him up. So I think the outfits are really well done. The black and red with the footwear here, again, well done. Some nice detailing, if a bit plain, but again, I think it fits the character, and they got the bagginess down pat really well. He's got these gauntlets, I guess I want to call them, with the little spikes. I've never quite been a fan of the way these things, but they look good. They look good on a figure. And then moving on, obviously you've got the head here, which again is well done. Similarly to the other heads, you got the bandana, which is soft rubber, and then the mullet part here, it's soft rubber as well. But the expression, yeah, it's there. That's Liu Kang. I can look at this and say, yeah, that's definitely Liu Kang. As far as the head, you just saw you can turn this fully around. He can look up, look down, pretty much like all Storm Collectibles figures. He is, sorry, pretty poseable. The chest, again, following the Storm Collectibles tradition, this is soft rubber, followed by some hard plastic right here on the lower. And then you've got, your additional portions here that are also soft rubber to allow for, the greater poseability of the figure. You can move the arms in and out. You can rotate them if that's, your thing. He'll look a little weird doing all that, but he can do that. And then, the arms, for example, turn that much. His fists, you can turn fully around. As I mentioned, the hands, you could easily pull out and replace, to put him in the different poses. And let's see here. He can look down, again, because of the soft rubber, look up, then you start seeing some gappage there. The feet, again, I just got this figure, so he's a little loud, but he can, do the whole 90-degree thing and do that. The legs you get that much range, which is pretty cool. And you get here in his feet, sorry, there's a bit of a ball joint, so you can move this side to side slightly. And the toes, again, you do that. So he is pretty poseable for all intents and purposes. You can turn him fully around here if you wanted to. So, you can sort of put him in a little bicycle kick action if you wanted to, right? Like in the game. So the figure itself, not too bad, I think just the character of Liu Kang, as I said, for me, he's always been a bit plain looking, like kind of vanilla looking guy. So yeah, but not a bad figure by any means. I think he'll fit in really well. with the Kung Lao and all the other Mortal Kombat figures if you sort of have them. So yeah, but a bit overshadowing this guy, and actually I wanted to measure him because he looked fairly small, but this is what, about 6.5 inches, so he is a good size. But I think what took away from this guy, and in a good way, and this is not a bad figure, was the dragon itself, and it comes in essentially 3 pieces. You get that lower part there, you get his tail in one part, and then you get his the upper part, right, the head and the arms. So I think this is so cool. It kind of tends to overshadow Liu Kang a little bit. So the tail, let's start off from back here, is very well detailed. Some the scales and the greens done really well. The different shades of green, some gray. Right here, you got, you're able to move the tail if you want to pose it. There's a ball joint here. That's how this is connected to the lower portion of the body. But it's really well done. I like this. I love the detail, and it's got a good feel to it. It's like some hard plastic, and then once you get here towards the tail end, it's soft. So that's one part. The other part, and it's a bigger part, is the body here. Kind of looks like a chicken, a headless chicken. But it's, again, articulated really well. You can move the feet slightly in and out, and they do move up. I mean, you can rotate them pretty much, the knees here, I guess these would be what would be his knees. You can move that in and out. And then there's a ball joint here, so you can move that. The ankles, there is ankle tilt on the dragon, and the toes do not move. But there's enough articulation here that you could probably pose this guy pretty well. And again, continuing this whole green and dark green and shading motif is really well done in this figure. The scales, again, and this is all pretty hard plastic. I mean, it's not going to hurt you too bad, but it's nice. I appreciate when toys are these sort of sturdy. And, of course, you get this green thin body. The chest is a different green complexion than than the rest of the body, which again fits in really well. So that is the body, and then the last part is the head. Here, the upper portion, the upper torso, which is really cool. You get those bright red eyes. I guess these are his ears up here, soft plastic here, and the scales back here are a little pointy, and then same thing here. The spines going down his back are pretty cool. And then you get a darker green again, and then the chest is this lighter green. The head is, you can turn it around, so you can do that for posability. He can look down a little bit, but not too much. It's almost like, yeah, so you can look up, look down. But the mouth, as you saw, opens, and there's some nice detail there in the tongue. It is looks like it's been molded correctly. The teeth do have some red in them. I guess he just kind of got done eating someone or killing someone. So that's pretty cool. And then you could see the detail there on the head with the scales. Here's the other side, but you can open and close the mouth. And the hands, again, more articulation here. So you can really move the hands out. You can go like that. These are in a bit of a ball joint here on the elbows, so you can move that. You can fully turn the hands around. As you can see, mine just came off. You do not get an extra set of these little ball joints for the dragon, so I would be really careful. But you don't want to break them. But again, what you do have there seems sturdy enough, and you can pose the hands any which way you like. So I will put this together for you guys. I'm gonna try to do this off camera. This is like some really hard plastic that needs to essentially go into the section there, the ball joint. So I will try and do that. And then same thing here for the upper portion. There is a ball joint here. It kind of just goes boop in place, but you need to use some force to sort of get it in there. So let me get that out of the way, and we'll come back to the video. Okay, so I'm attempting to give you a good look at this guy. Put him together. Took a bit of force to get the ball joints in place, but once you have him there together, man, does he look awesome. This has really overshadowed Liu Kang for me. This is almost like I bought a dragon and I got a free Liu Kang with me. Again, I'm joking, but nonetheless, you get my drift. I love this thing. This thing is just great. It's postable. The detail is really well done. Height wise, I did try to sort of measure him, and according to my tape measure, he's probably about uh, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half inches. You can stand him up a little taller if you wanted to, like sort of make him look up a little more and, get these legs sort of going up. So that'll make him slightly taller, maybe closer to like 13 inches. But man, this thing is well done. I love the fact that we now have a fatality, right? We have the famous Mortal Kombat dragon here, and it definitely looks the part. I'm so glad I got this. Having missed out on other Mortal Kombat figures in the past, I think when I saw this, I was like, I have to get this, especially since I kind of grew up with Mortal Kombat. For a comparison with his companion here he is next to Liu Kang. And then I think the other day I did a review on a Transformers figure, which these are obviously not related by any means. But for anyone that's interested, here's the Shattered Glass Grimlock, which is a T-Rex for those who are not familiar with Transformers. But just to show you again the size difference there of this guy, it's so awesome. Again, to be able to add this to my collection, I have to now figure out if this guy will fit with the rest of my Storm collectible figures. Okay, guys, so as we close, I am definitely very happy that I was able to get my hands on this one. I think me being a huge Mortal Kombat fan and a fan of just Storm collectibles and action figures in general, it's just really awesome to be able to have this in the collection. I will say, as I said earlier, the dragon does overshadow Liu Kang quite a bit. I think that's the star of this whole set for me. The figure itself of Liu Kang is a great little figure. I really don't have any issues with it. If you're used to Mortal Kombat, Storm collectible figures, definitely fits the bill there. So before we close, just want to do some quick comparisons. So here he is next to Liu Kang, and I know I have Kung Lao next to in a bit of an action pose in comparison there to Liu Kang. But just so you get an idea, I like that Liu Kang figure. I wasn't too crazy about the head sculpt. And then the only other Mortal Kombat figure that I have, well, now I have three, well, four if you count the dragon, is Reptile. So that's how these three look together. I missed out on a couple of the earlier Mortal Kombat figures that Storm Collectibles was released, but I do have the new Shao Kahn, the new Goro on pre-order. So I'm definitely looking forward to add a bit more to the collection to get a little bit out of the Mortal Kombat realm here. Here he is next to Axel from Streets of Rage 4, and next to Paul Phoenix from Tekken. This is the Tekken 7 Paul Phoenix. So I would say that Liu Kang looks a little short, but it's not too bad. Paul is definitely huge, I guess, in comparison to Liu Kang. But yeah, so you guys could see there what those three look like together. We'll move them out of the way here. And then just the last two comparisons here would be to the absolute unit that is Zangief from Street Fighter 2. And next to one of my favorite Storm collectible figures, here is next to King, again from Tekken 7. And just so you guys get an idea of how tall that dragon is, it's about 13 inches, as I said earlier. And here is probably one of the bigger Storm collectible figures that I currently own. But yeah, I mean, I would say if, again, you are a Mortal Kombat fan and you're already into the Storm collectibles sort of train like I am, then I would say, guys, I think this Liu Kang and Dragon figure is definitely worth it. I think it's a nice addition to the Mortal Kombat collection, anyone's collection, period. And I think it's well done. Obviously, I think for me, again, the star of this whole thing is the dragon itself. But Liu Kang himself, it's done really well. But anyway, I think that's it for me. If I have missed anything, feel free to leave a comment. But if you made it to the end, thank you so much for joining me, for being a part of or spending your time with me. I appreciate it. And if not, then I'll see you next time. Take care.